I asked ChatGPT what AQ3D can do to gain a larger player base, and this is what it said. AQ3D can employ several strategies to increase its player base. Here are some ideas. Enhance accessibility. Mentions the mobile and cross-platform play, which it already has, so that doesn't really work. It also says ensure smooth performance on lower-end devices would broaden its potential audience, because right now AQ3D does suffer from optimization. Now, localization is another thing. Translating the game into non-English speaking things. This is something that I had said way at the beginning when I noticed that a lot of the people watching my content were either from Brazil or the Philippines. A lot of them were not from the United States or Canada, or so. I mean, having a translated game would definitely improve that. Next is to improve the social features like guilds and communities. Now, they are doing that. They have been promoting guilds and pushing, social things like that. So they've got some other stuff here. Features like customizable guilds, group content, and better player interactions via more extensive chat options, customizable avatars, or in-game events would help build a loyal community. I actually had another idea that would be kind of connected with the social aspect, was to have stickers that would appear over your heads. The original idea that I'd had was actually based on Fortnite, and it was for PvP. So players in PvP could communicate with each other using stickers that pop up above their heads, little emotes that would appear above their heads. That was the original idea, but now thinking about it, it could be something used in a public setting, and these stickers could be obtained via different ways, through questing, through purchasing, and maybe drops and crafts, and who knows, that would be another thing people could farm for. Co-op gameplay. While AQ3D already has multiplayer features, expanding on cooperative and competitive gameplay modes like raids, boss fights, or PvP events could attract players who enjoy that type of challenge. So that is another. I know there's a lot of players that have said the boss fights have not been spicy the way they were back when Dagger did them. So expanding content and updates, regular content updates. And this is something that they already do. This is a very, very common thing. It just mentions having new quests, events, items, or special themed campaigns. Seasonal and limited time events. This is something they already do, but this says offering unique rewards, which a lot of these usually do. Story-driven content. AQ3D can expand its lore by deeper storytelling and engaging narratives that encourage long-term investment in the world and its characters. This is something they are trying to do. This is definitely something they are trying to do, is more story driven, but it is so hard, especially this time of year when there's so many different seasonal events and stuff. Improved monetization, cosmetics and vanity items. This is something they already do, like skins. They don't have mounts, but they get travel forms, pets, and other stuff. And then it says battle pass or subscription models, which is not something AQ3D would be able to do, is having that type of thing. They offer a free-to-play game with option to buy cosmetics and whatnot, but they want it to stay a free-to-play game. Better marketing and partnership, which is something that has been said. I've seen a lot of people saying they need more marketing, but it is expensive this time in this day and age. Partnering with YouTubers, streamers, and other content creators in the gaming space could introduce a game to a larger audience. These influencers can bring attention to the game through sponsored content or live streamed gameplay. Now, here's the problem. They have done influencer collaborations before, but the problem is they've targeted the wrong audience, at least in my opinion. The people who are going to be playing AQ3D are not people who really listen to the genre that they've had for bands, or to the YouTubers that they've been affiliated with. Even though they're big YouTubers, they're on the controversial end in most cases. So it's just interesting collab ideas, but they didn't really bring anything to AQ3D. Cross promotions, this is something they have done. They've linked it with AQ Worlds and Dragon Fable and stuff in the past with their other games. So that is kind of cool that they do that, and they have done other cross promotions as well via Game Ogre and the Massively OP and other stuff like that, addressing core gameplay issues like combat and progression improvements. The combat system could be polished further, making it more fluid and dynamic to attract action-oriented players. Ensuring that progression feels rewarding and not too grindy also helps keeping players hooked. This is something AE is very well known for, is for having low reward, high energy. So you need to put in a lot to get something back. So they're saying, make it less grindy and more rewarding would help. User experience enhancements, streamlining the interface and improving the overall user experience, especially for new players, will make AQ3D easier to get into and more engaging long term. I think all of AE games suffer at the beginning at trying to get players into it because the games are quite expansive. I mean, there's quite a wide thing out there, but getting to it is the issue. So I think that's what they're mentioning. Community engagement and feedback. Listen to the community, which they do actually do a very good job at listening to the community players. They do get feedback on it, and they've usually done something about it. They can't always do everything, which is why some people think they don't listen, but they do. They listen and they try to do what they feel is best for the community, allowing players to create and share their content like new quests, items, and designs. Now, this is an interesting idea. I had seen someone mention an idea about having house things, people in your houses, and then having those being able to do quests so players can create their own quests. The idea is not that far-fetched. Something like that could potentially come in the future, considering how vast the housing system is in AQ3D. Something like that's always possible. Incentivizing new players and retention, new player experience, ensuring that new players have a smooth onboarding process can keep them from getting frustrated and leaving early. Tutorials, rewards for early milestones, or beginner events can keep them hooked. This is something that I think they need to kind of revamp the book of lore and really highlight positionally based on your level where players would go. So this way you're not going to be confusing them. Last is loyalty rewards or referral systems. Rewarding players for bringing in new players through referral bonuses or staying engaged with the game long term through loyalty programs or milestones can boost retention and organic growth. I did mention loyalty programs before in the past. It's not really something that they were really interested in. As for rewarding players through referral bonuses, that's an interesting idea. Having friends inviting. They do have this system in AQ World, so it's possible they could do something like that in regards to AQ3D, but I would think that would be kind of cool. By focusing on these, AQ3D could potentially grow its player base, keep players engaged, and establish itself as a prominent title in the MMO space. And there you go. So how close did ChatGPT get it to how to improve the player base in AQ3D? Let me know in the comments below. What suggestions do you have that you think would bring in players? Love to hear your feedback. If you made it this far into the video, post a secret word GOLD into the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.